guys, it's Carolyn with Crafting with Wine, and I am going to share another 2-page 12 by 12 Disney scrapbook layout, and this is the final of my 2-page 12 by 12 scrapbook layout. So I've got 2 more single pages to do, and at this point I'm not 100% sure what those are or if I will share them. So if you want to see them, leave me a comment below and I'll see what I'm going to do, because I've got about 2 weeks left before I'm ready to wrap this album up and get it together as my gift. And so I'm going to have to come up with my 2 single page layouts here really quickly. So I think I know what I want to do with the first one. I'm not so sure what I'm going to do with the last one. So let's get started. I have a 12 by 12 piece of yellow or lemon cardstock here on the back, and then I've done several layers here and they're already glued down, and my bottom layer is from a Die Cuts with a View paper stack that I used, and I cut this at 11.5 inches by 6 inches, and I didn't cut it with my Cricut, I just did it on my paper trimmer. And this is supposed to be or represent the flooring. The next piece here, this dark blue with these bright colors in the background, is to represent the wallpaper or the walls of my layout. Again, it is cut at 11.5 inches and by 4.5 inches high. And then my next piece up here is also from the same paper stack, Die Cuts with a View, and it's at 11.5 inches by 3 inches is how I cut it, and I did cut it on my Cricut because I wanted this cool scallop border, and it was supposed to either represent curtains or crown molding, so to speak. So that's what that is. Let me see if I can find that Die Cuts with a View paper stack real quick so I can share which one I used. Oh, there it is. I used the blue citrus stack. That's the one that I used for this layout. I love this stack, and I've used about half of the pages out of it so far. Then the next thing that I have is a 4x6 photo mat. The gray layer is at 6.5 by 4.5, and the bright blue layer is 4.25 by 6.25, and I was trying to match kind of the brighter blues in this pattern here, and I am going to lay it down right about there. So let me go ahead and do that. The gray and blue layer is pretty heavy cardstock, so I'm trying to get it down. That's the reason I use so much tape there, is to really get it down. So I'm going to put it there, and this layout is going to be a Pinocchio layout. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, with this Disney scrapbook layout, I use some pretty unused Disney layouts that you don't see a whole lot of. I use some really popular ones too, but only a couple. But I used a lot of unpopular ones. This is Geppetto. At least I think that's how you pronounce his name, Geppetto. And I've got him dancing and playing his hand accordion. I put Wink of Stella on his little eyeglasses here, And I also did that on his buckles of his shoes. Since he's a cobbler, I thought his shoes should be a little more fancy, so that's why I put Winkastella on the buckles of his shoes. And he's dancing and having a great time, and I just love the way that he came out. And the black background layer of Geppetto, I used some pretty old cardstock that I've had for at least a couple years, and it came from Close to My Heart, and it was adhesive back. So do you see that? That sticker paper I get to pull off, and I don't have to worry about gluing it because it's already got adhesive all over it. Yay me. And he's going to go right about there. Now, all of my Disney characters come from the cartridge Disney Classics, and I'm not for sure if this is one of the cartridges that has been retired or not. But if it hasn't, buy it now because it will be soon. And if it has, I'm sorry, you're going to have to go to eBay and pay a fortune for it, is all I have to say about that. Now, Geppetto, I cut it 7.03 inches wide and 9.57 inches high. And I'm going to peel off the backing here. And it's very strong adhesive on him. First thing I want to do is his elbow's going to come over my photo mat, and I don't want it to stick. So I'm just going to use my embossing buddy there and take the adhesive off of him, off of his elbow. And there is where he's going to go. I know I have a very busy background going on, but I wanted that because it was kind of out of my comfort zone. But all of these images are so muted in color that I thought I could pull it off, and I hope you guys do too. Now, my next image is Figaro. Didn't he come out so cute? He reminds me of my kitty that my hubby got me when we were first married, and my kitty's name was Tigger. I know, original, not, but that was my kitty's name. But he's got the exact same coloring as my Tigger. I wish I'd have named him Figaro instead of Tigger. But my Figaro is cut at 4.24 inches wide by 2.95 inches high, and he came out adorable. Again, I used that same Close to My Heart cardstock that had adhesive backing. So I'm going to pull the backing off of him and place him right down here. And there we go with my cute little Figaro. And then my next image that I want to place down is Pinocchio. And Pinocchio comes from the Disney Classics cartridge as well. And for the dots of the eyes, I use flat back blue pearls. And because I lost the dots to my eye. I had one and didn't have the other one, and I didn't want to cut it all over again. So I just used those for the dots of the eyes. And I've got it popped up on foam tape as well. Now, I did a lot of cutting and slicing with this image because it comes with a little shadow layer of Pinocchio and flowers and different things of that nature, and I didn't want all of that. I just wanted the word. So I did a lot of slicing and cutting in Design Space, and I couldn't get it exactly perfect there, so once I cut it, I had to do a lot more cutting with my paper snips once I cut it out. And I think it turned out pretty cute. Oh my goodness, I'm getting the hiccups. We're going to take the backing off this foam tape. And depending on how my hiccups do, I may pause to take the backing off and hoping that my hiccups go away. Oh my goodness, I hate hiccups and I never ever get them. Do you? Oh. So we'll see how this is going to go here. You know, that bright blue of my second layer of my photo mat has really pulled out the blue in my background papers, and I'm liking that, the bright blues of those, because that's what I was looking for. Because when I was trying to choose which papers, which cardstocks I wanted to use, I'm like, oh, that's so bright. And all of the other ones were just too dull or too muted. And it's like, no, I need a bright color, because first off, I'm putting it against another matte, which is gray, which darkens it even a little bit more. But with the deep dark blue of that background really darkens it. So I'm actually, now that I've got it all laid down, I'm really happy that I went with that super bright blue layer, because it's pulling out the brightness of all the other blues, because there's a lot of blues and there is a lot of yellow layers in this layout. And I'm kind of happy with how it's coming out so far. And I really hope my friend just really adores this scrapbook album. So I'm going to put my Pinocchio title down here. Yes, that looks good to me. This is another kind of simple layout, just like the layout I did for Dumbo, which was very simple. And what I mean simple to me means I don't have a lot of images or a lot of things going on. I may have some cute and big images, because that's what I want to take precedence to highlight the pictures. But it's not busy like some of the other layouts that I've done. I've enjoyed those layouts, and they're actually my favorite ones, but I like doing these too. So that finishes the left-hand side of this Pinocchio layout, and I'm liking it. I hope you are too. So let's move this one off to the side and bring in my other one. And Geppetto and Figaro, by the way, was paper pieced together. Now, with this one, I've done the exact same thing with the exact same measurements of these background pieces. And I forget if I told you this top border is called Lace, and it comes from the Family Album cartridge. I was originally going to put this in here as well. It's just a little music note border, and I was going to put it in here, but with the background papers that I chose, it just got lost, so I didn't do it. But I love them, and I created 2 of them, so I'm going to set that off to the side and use it for another project at some point in time. So with this right side, I actually have 2 photo mats, another 4x6 photo mat, which the gray layer is 6.5 by 4.5, And then the blue is 6 1/4 by 4 1/4, which will hold a 4 by 6 photo. So I'm going to go ahead and get this laid down. And I'm going to put it right down here. Right there. And then my other photo mat is cut at 4 1/2 by 4 1/2, and the blue layer is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and it will hold a 4 by 4 photo. And I am going to place it right up here. Now, my next image is Jiminy Cricket. Jiminy Cricket is cut at 6.88 inches wide by 4.68 inches high, and he is print and cut, and he is the only image on this 2-page layout that is print and cut. And on the top of his umbrella, I used Wink of Stella, and I did on the button of his vest, and then the gold straps on his shoes, and the gold band on his hat has Wink of Stella. And I do have Jiminy Cricket popped up on foam tape. I have been wanting to use Jiminy Cricket on a layout forever and ever and ever. And I have been doing scrapbooking for 17 plus years, and this is the first time and first layout that I have ever used Jiminy Cricket on, and it makes me excited. I love Jiminy Cricket. Do you? So tell me in the comments below, who is your favorite Disney character? And because I haven't designed my first page or my last page of my album, and if I haven't already done that character, maybe I will do it for the beginning or the end of my album. I'm not looking for anything overly girly, so I'm not looking for one of the princesses, please, because if you notice, there wasn't a princess one in this scrapbook series. And that's because I was doing it to be very unisex. So, and that's what I want to stay with. So let me know what you think. I do have some Lion King, Simba images that I could do, which obviously kind of sorta isn't in Cricut Design Space. I've got those that are kind of there, and I've got some that I've bought, but it's not real. Oh, that photo mat is very crooked. I gotta change that. That'll just drive my OCD insane if I don't. Okay, much better. Then I have Pinocchio. Isn't he so freaking cute? I love the way Pinocchio came out. And I used Wink of Stella on the feather of his cap only. And I had to cut Pinocchio with the long lying nose. You know what I'm saying? So I just love him. He came out so cute. And Pinocchio is always so much fun to put together. He is horribly fun to put together. And Pinocchio is cut at 4.61 inches wide by 7.23 inches high. And again, he's on the same black cardstock that I got that has adhesive backing. This stuff is amazing. but I don't think they sell it anymore. And I am going to place Pinocchio right about there. I think he turned out incredibly cute, and I hope you guys do too. So again, another really simple image, but it's still packed full of goodness, I think. So let me know if you guys have a preference of what you think my front page and back page should be. Thanks for spending some of your evening with me. I truly appreciate it. We'll talk again real soon. Cheers.